What's up, NFL draft fans? It's your boy Jay Tuck, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite prospects in this year's class. That's running back Kaleb Johnson. But before we start, do me a quick favor: hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing to join one of the best NFL draft communities in the planet. But when it comes to Kaleb Johnson, he's 6 foot, 212 pounds. Like, he's a guy that has a lot of talent, right, at Iowa. I mean, he broke records. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. Rushed for over 1,500 yards. Like, he dominated in the Big Ten, right? He had a lot of big games. So the games I've scouted: Ohio State, Washington, Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, Nebraska, and also Iowa State. So a lot of games that I've already watched for Kaleb Johnson. Like, I'm telling you guys, when I'm doing these running backs, I have them in tiers, and I have like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, list goes on and on, right? Kaleb Johnson, Ashton Jeanty, Amari and Hampton, those are my tier 1 guys, and Kaleb Johnson is definitely going to be a player you can probably bet money on. I would say either he's a first-round talent or an early second-round talent, because I think NFL scouts will be foaming at the mouth to get this guy on the roster. Now, when it comes to a rusher, he's phenomenal. Like I said, 240 carries, 1,500 yards, average 6.4 yards per carry, 21 touchdowns. So he has all the standard metrics that a lot of people are looking for. As a receiver, wasn't involved much in the passing game, right? But we'll go ahead and go demonstrate that in the film. Only 22 receptions for 188 yards. Now, I tell you guys all the time, I don't do comps, but it's okay if you guys want to have fun and do it, right? A lot of people say, yo, Tuck, he reminds me a lot of DeMarco Murray, right? And I can see it. He kind of has some of those DeMarco Murray-esque traits coming out of OU. Like I said, me personally, I don't do comps because I don't want to start anchoring in on biases, because I'm trying to see a player that's an NFL caliber player and a young player, right? So I don't personally do comps, but I hear a lot of people saying, yo, Tuck, he reminds me a lot of DeMarco Murray. And if you're a Cowboys fan, that might excite you just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get over into the film. All right, so the very first thing I noticed when it comes to Kaleb Johnson as a runner, he's very patient, right? He's a very patient runner. He has a vision, like I've been teaching guys all week, right? The things before he hits the gap: patience, vision, and then once he sees it, he's decisive. He hits the gap, and then that's when the traits really kick in. He's always falling forward. Now, he has a large break tackle percentage, right? So he's a guy that can get you those yards after contact, but he's not a mauler, right? He's not a guy that's looking to put his head into a defender every time, right? A lot of the times when Kaleb Johnson is avoiding contact or tacklers are slipping off, it's because he's giving them improper tackling angles, right? Because it's like, case in point, if you give them the numbers, right, you're going head up, right, that gives a defender the opportunity to really line you up, right, if you can see the numbers. But he's often dipping his shoulders, dipping his hips, right, and he's staying fluid, low center of gravity, great balance. So it's kind of hard to tackle because he doesn't let defenders really line him up, and you'll see that translate on the film as we go deeper. The one thing about Kaleb Johnson also is he's an in-between the tackle runner. Now, he can hit the outside edges, but he's a guy that likes to run in the A gap and the B gap. A lot of his big explosive runs came in the A gap and the B gap behind the guards, right? So, a lot of people like guys that can kind of get to the outside edge. He's a zone runner, but he can get to the outside edge, but he's also a guy that can run the trenches. And if you're trying to build a foundation of a hard-nosed football team, power run game, which seems to be the trend that's starting in the NFL, Kaleb Johnson definitely fits that mold because he can line up, run behind guard, run behind center. You see the backside pull, bam, find the hole, plant, burst, slip off tackles, stay balanced, fall forward. That's Kaleb Johnson in a nutshell. Now, when it comes to his speed, right, he doesn't have the godly speed. I would say he'd probably be like a 4 or 5 guy, right? But like, not everyone is Sonic, right? I know everyone kind of wants Shamir Gibbs and Sonic and 4.3s and different things like that, right? But no, he's a well-balanced running back. I think he'll run a 4.5, maybe a 4.4 if you're having a good day, right? But at the end of the day, he plays fast, right? And a lot of it comes from his IQ and his decision making, right? He doesn't hesitate. Like, some running backs, they'll make decisions and they'll kind of dance, right? Dance in the hole. That is not Kaleb Johnson. Like I said, he is fluid and he is reading things and seeing things moving at a high speed rate, and he doesn't have to decelerate. So kind of look at this play right here. Okay, boom. Reading my blockers as I've been teaching you guys. Where's the hats, right? So you have the hats on the inside. Okay, boom, that's not there. Now we're going to try to bounce this outside. Okay, well, actually, nope, he's going to be on the outside, so I can't take that. So let me cut in between my two blockers right here on the combo. Okay, so my tight end, he's kind of turning around spinning. I'm not sure what you're doing right now, bro. All right, so let me dip that shoulder to avoid the contact right there. Now, like I said, he could line number 10 up and try to go head to head. He's not going to do that. Give him a shoulder, set up an improper tackling angle, balance after contact, right? So breaks that tackle, and then we're off to the races, right? So that shows just kind of all the traits that Kaleb Johnson really just adds to his toolbox, right? 'Cause like I said, even with this break tackle, he probably could have lined him up and ran through it. Now, some running backs, they're going to look at him, number 10, and say, that's dog food. I want to go right through him. Nope, I'm going to give him this improper tackling angle, shoulder, right? Miss tackle, break off the tackle, off to the races. All right, cool. All right, when it comes to this play right here, the one thing that I like about Kaleb Johnson, once again, is the burst, the hole, feet constantly moving, right? He finishes his run strong. He doesn't go down easily. Like I said, he runs with toughness and tenacity, but he's not a big guy, right? If you look at some of the other running backs, how we already broke down how they're built. Like I said, he's kind of 212, but he kind of has like a leaner frame, right? He doesn't have that big, low body that some of these other prospects that we're talking about, but he still runs tough. And once again, that shoulder lean, you know what I'm saying? For those of y'all listening to Young Dro, right? That shoulder lean right there. All right, bam, right? Not going toe to toe, bouncing off tackles, moving the pile, feet moving. Good play, good effort from Kaleb Johnson. Now, like I said, the thing about Kaleb Johnson, I think he's going to do well in a zone scheme, right? Good at locating his aiming points, being decisive, reading blockers, planning, agility, turning up and go, right? Getting to the outside. So I feel like if you're able to add him to a zone scheme, you know, he can definitely be a benefit to any NFL team, you know, like especially Dallas Cowboys, right? But I think he's going to be more of a zone runner because he has that IQ. Now, I'm not sure what's happening with this blocker right here with number 92, right? They kind of both just like let him burst to the hole, right? But this is Kaleb Johnson is using his God-given ability once again. All right, making a miss, still cutting back. He didn't bounce outside. Once again, reading his hat. Where are my blockers? Turning up field. Okay, where are my blockers? Okay, boom. Reading hat. Getting to the outside and making a play. All right, and this play is simple, right? It's as simple as it gets. Sees the hole, hits the hole, and we're off to the races. Like I said, he doesn't have, you know, game-breaking speed, but it's more than enough. Like I said, there's not a lot of hesitation in his game. He sees it, he reacts, he hits it, he goes, he's off to the races into the end zone, right? So I like that when I'm scouting running backs. I don't like running backs that tiptoe. I don't like running backs that hesitate. I don't like running backs really that have to slow down and process. Kaleb Johnson is definitely not one of those guys. Hole right there. We're breaking. We're off to the races. That's easy money. All right. This kind of play right here demonstrates him just setting up his blockers, being a patient runner. So you'll see it right here. Boom. Where are my blockers? Where's my aiming point? Got big 65. Now, number 70 up here, bro. Hey, bro, go get your dog. Go get your food, bro. Finish your food, young man. Finish your food. Big number 70 out there moving stuff, right? But once again, Kaleb Johnson, right? Where's my blockers? Setting up my blocks. Boom. Cutting inside. Turning up field. Once again, that balance after contact, right? Let's watch it in full speed. Boom. Boom, balance after contact, not going down, spinning off tackles, right? Finishing strong. But kudos to big number 70 right there. I like that. I like offensive linemen that can finish their blocks, and we'll get to that when we do our offensive lineman series, all right? So good run by Kaleb Johnson. Once again, right here, this is that God-given ability. These are things that you cannot coach. You just have to have it, right? Making tacklers miss, being elusive, getting off to the edges, showing your burst, and making things happen and getting into the end zone. So let's watch it from the end zone angle right here. You'll see this play is really getting blown up, right? And this is the separation from elite running backs with elite traits versus just the average. Okay, so boom. All right, where can he really go? not much to go, right? 97 has a hand on him, right? This edge right here, hand on him. Not much to go. You have this outside edge not being set. All right, you get off me, bro, too. Number 4 is having to make a life decision right here. Does he really want to smoke? Probably not today, so we're going to slip and slide, right? Then you want your tight end to kind of get that block. Boom. Kind of misses it, right? But then now we're off to the races. So, like I said, the processing that Kaleb Johnson is doing by not having to decelerate, he's thinking, he's seeing the vision, his hips are fluid, like it's all there, right? Decisiveness, boom, not there. But those are God-given ability. Those are things, those are traits that you cannot coach. And that's why NFL scouts are going to be excited to have Kaleb Johnson. Another thing I like about Kaleb Johnson, always pressing forward, right? Because like some running backs, like they'll kind of tiptoe, as I've been mentioning, right? But Kaleb Johnson, he's pressing forward. You want to press the hole and also make your decision. So you'll see that demonstrated on this play right here when it comes to Kaleb Johnson. It's boom. Here's the handoff. Pressing forward, not hesitating, right? So you see this linebacker right here, not hesitating. Where's the hole? There's my blocker. I'm going right off, tight off my blocker. Okay, this guy has the inside, right? Cut back outside. Boom. Processing to the outside, making 2 tacklers miss right there. And then now we're bending the edge, bending corners. My swerve on the corner. Well, I got that song stuck in my head. Apologize. But boom, right? So there you go, Kaleb Johnson. All right, boom. Now, as a wide receiver or receiving running back, like I said, he didn't get a lot of attempts, right? So it's nothing too crazy to talk about. Just looking at his route running, right? Simple little Texas route. If you play NCAA football, you probably ran this play 1,000 times. It's a little underneath route. But the thing is, Kaleb Johnson, you really just want to get the ball in his hands and let him go out there and use his God-given ability, right? So he's not really the type of wide or running back that you're going to line up at wide receiver and get separation from those safeties and linebackers. Like there's some running backs in this class that can do that, but there's not a lot. These are kind of your old school running backs. Just toss underneath, get them in space, flares, tunnel screens. Now on this play right here, he is flexed out wide as Iowa goes empty. I'm not sure what this cornerback said or did to him, bro, but he just comes off the line and just bullies him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that was personal. This feels personal from Kaleb Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he just been wanting to do this all game for some reason. And it's like, you know what? I'm just going to go hit this guy. You know what I'm saying? The play ain't even coming over here, just get out the way, little bro. I'm going to stand over you, talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So I like that toughness. As a pass pro guy, good job of picking up blitzes, reading and reacting. You'll see that on this play right here. Getting low, cutting the threat, right? So his quarterback can flush outside the pocket. So good recognition. Now I'll say this, like there are going to be some conversations, right? Sometimes, you know, pass pro needs to anchor in a little bit more, maybe get his feet set. Just a little technique, things that can clean up. All prospects, no prospect is perfect. There's always going to be things to clean up, right, with any prospect. Don't act like everyone's going to be just golden, right, and hit the ground running. There's always going to be things to work on. Right now, like I said, not sure what the communication piece was. Typically, you would probably want him to have the closest threat, which would be the inside guy, because the inside lane to the quarterback is going to be a lot quicker than this outside guy. But I think this is really on this tight end. But anyway, right, just watch his leverage from the pass pro, right? So he's kind of standing up straight, right? Not really anchored in, not sinking his hips, right? So it's just a technique cleanup. We'll come to Kaleb Johnson in pass pro, but he's definitely a feisty, willing blocker. You know, those are something things you can definitely coach up. But when it comes to being a pure runner, a game breaker, a game changer, or workhorse back, Kaleb Johnson has everything you need in an NFL running back to be a lead dog, man. So it's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms. If you love draft content, if you love draft film breakdowns, you are in the right spot. So turn on that notification bell so you do not miss out. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And Kaleb Johnson, he's one of those ones. Peace.